4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin with breaking news. In the last few minutes, we have learned that the Monroe woman who drove drunk and crashed into the Swan Boat Club, killing 2 children, will spend 25 to 50 years in prison. Marcella Chidester, sentencing hearing just wrapped up just a bit ago. This is the story that we've been covering since 2024. It was in April of that year. She crashed into the Swan Boat Club. Her blood alcohol level was 0.18, which is well above the legal limit. Now, if you remember, there was a birthday party going on at the time. Siblings, 8-year-old Zane and 4-year-old Alana Phillips were killed. Their brother Jaden and several others were hurt. Now, during victim impact statements, we heard from Zane and Alana's father, who spoke directly to Chidester. I want you to take a listen to what they said.
What you took from me, I will never, ever get back. My daughter was trying to be just like me playing basketball. She just celebrated her 8th birthday. Zane was about to be 5. Instead of celebrating his 5th birthday, we buried them.
After the children's father spoke, their mom also addressed the court. She asked the judge to give Chidester life in prison without parole. We're obviously working on this story. There's so many different elements. So coming up at 5, we're going to go live to the courthouse where Victor Williams is working to get the family's reaction to this sentence. We did just learn that that driver was sentenced 25 to 50 years. Again, breaking news on that boat club crash. By the way, we are coming to you live this afternoon from Canton Township, and this is ahead of our special In Your Neighborhood. That begins at 5:30. But first, we do have a forewarned weather alert, so we are going to check in with Kim Adams. We have a severe weather on the horizon. You can see that those storms out to our west are moving on in. Kim, what's the latest?
Well, you're fine right there, Karen. It's very nice now. We've got sunshine. This is later on tonight. We're talking after 9 or 10 o'clock, and I think the strongest of the storms here in the immediate area will be after midnight. So you have plenty of time. You're okay if the kids have sports and things like that. It is dry, but there are some showers and some thunderstorms out to our west. In fact, there's severe weather going on right now out in Minneapolis, and they have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and also we've seen a tornado warning pop up. So what this is telling us as this moves closer to Metro Detroit is that it does have the potential to be strong to severe, and there's also the potential for some rotation. Now, this is happening in Minneapolis during the heat of the day. For us, it's going to come after sunset. That will help somewhat, but I think these storms are still going to pack a pretty good punch, again, coming in here tonight, mainly after midnight, but be prepared as early as 10 o'clock tonight. But so far, it's really been a very nice day here in Metro Detroit. We've had some sunshine, but as we look out to the west in Ann Arbor, already some clouds starting to build, those cumulus clouds starting to build up in the atmosphere. Out at Metro Airport, it is calm right now. They're getting a little sunshine. We'll take one last look here at Windsor Sky Cam. Give us a good shot of the downtown area. How pretty is that? We've got blue skies and those puffy white clouds, but we do have that severe weather that is coming. One thing that will fuel those thunderstorms are our temperatures. Already right now, they are in the 80s in a few spots, including Howell and Ann Arbor. Howell's at 82. Pontiac just jumped up to 80 degrees. I suspect Metro Airport will get to 80 as well. So coming up, we'll talk about a more specific timeline, and this is round 1 of 2 storms, another one coming in tomorrow night. We'll talk about those in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. A man accused of the 1989 murder of Beverly Wivel received a $5 million bond today. Prosecutors argue he should not be released on bond because he's under investigation for other cases, including child pornography found on his tablet. Wivel's family is also concerned about his potential release and believe he could be a safety risk.
We're hoping for closure on it, but if he gets out and he gets away with it, there's no closure.
I really did not think that he would get the bond okayed, even though I'm hoping and I'm praying that he cannot come up with $5 million in cash.
You think there's other conditions that are...
So here's the latest. If Robbins does get out, he will be required to wear a GPS tether. The defense says there's little to no evidence linking Robbins to Wivel's murder. Supreme Court heard arguments today about President Trump's birthright citizenship order. Now, the key issue is whether lower courts overstepped by blocking this order nationwide back in January. 5 of the 6 conservative justices seem open to supporting the president, feeling lower courts have gone too far with nationwide injunctions. However, they're not ready to stray from the longstanding rule that birthright citizenship is guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. All right, we got some great news for the city of Detroit. More and more people are moving in, bringing in their families, starting businesses. For the second straight year, Michigan's largest city is experiencing some significant growth. We're going to bring in Will Jones. He's live to share just how many people chose to call the Motor City home last year. Hey, Will.
Hi, Karen. Detroit is now the 26th largest city in the country, moving ahead of Portland, Oregon, and gaining ground on Boston. And it's not over yet. Let's take a look at the numbers. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the city's population increased by 6,791 people in 2024. That's a 1.1% jump. The city now has 645,705 residents. This morning, Mayor Duggan gathered with other city officials and community leaders to celebrate the city's growth. The mayor says key factors include strengthened neighborhoods, pointing to renovated homes, parks, and commercial corridors. He also cited reliable city services, jobs, and crime reduction. For decades, Detroit's population has been declining. Now the city is on an upward trend. Mayor Duggan believes that will continue.
There is no reason that this trend is not going to continue. And now that the Census Bureau is recognizing both renovated houses and new houses, I think you're going to see the city of Detroit lead to the state of Michigan for quite a ways to come. And so what we have here is, this is driven by people moving into the neighborhoods. There's no question about it.
Coming up at 5, you're going to hear from people who've been working to improve the city for decades, what they have to say about those latest numbers. We're live in Detroit. Will Jones, Local 4.
Always great to share that great news. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Hey, this week we are taking our 530 newscast on the road and in your neighborhood. We've already stopped in Madison Heights and Mount Clemens, and this afternoon we are coming to you live from Canton Township.
That's right.
Damon Fernandez is joining us now as we tell the stories of what the residents have on their minds.
Yeah, you know, the folks here in Canton Township sure to give us a variety of hot topics to explore, community issues, and cool things to dive into.
Among them is development, because a lot of cities are always talking about development. I posted this video on our social this morning. Take a look. So when people think about Canton, they think about Ford Road, but they want to build a downtown. Take a look at this. This is the future site of Canton's Town Square at Cherry Hill. Let me show you what's in the works. So the town square around Cherry Hill School is really the heart of the project, with a new park being constructed. It's going to host daily walkers, outdoor music, and special events.
It'll be a very large water feature, and there will be sidewalks and walking paths all the way around the entire outside of the pond.
Take a look at this. It's the new Farmers Market Pavilion, where residents will be seen gathering on the weekends for fresh fruits, veggies, and flowers. The former Henry Ford factory is turning into a mini community center. Renovations include preserving the historic wood floors while also adding some modern amenities.
Space here is going to be multi-purpose. It could go anywhere from hosting an arts class or a sunset yoga class on a weekday evening to a bridal shower or a baby shower on a Saturday or Sunday, and community meeting, some other point of the week.
Of course, parking and lighting will increase, and the hope is to have this all complete by the summer of 2026. I tell you, I've been talking with some of the residents who live here. They're so excited about that development. We'll take a closer look more on that when we come back at 5:30.
Yeah, another big issue we've been working on is flooding here. Residents have been voicing their concerns for a while, so we asked the township what has been done. The biggest event was back in August 2023. That's when the township had a terrible flood and a tornado in the same 24-hour period, and there are areas residents say that are known to flood during heavy rains. So, Karen, I know you've been working on this story as well.
Yeah, we were shooting the story, and then a kind of a big development yesterday. One of the residents was really expressing their concerns there. We went up and showed up in this neighborhood. Believe it or not, members of the Army Corps of Engineers, some people from the city, actually sat down with some of these residents in this particular development and talked about exactly what needs to be done. What are their concerns? What are the solutions that they talked about? So we are going to share that more at 5:30 about that meetup. But it's definitely a hot topic here in Canton Township.
Yeah, talk about hot topics, and you can't forget the traffic troubles folks are talking about. Some residents ask us to look into the latest on the traffic and construction along the busy Ford Road corridor. We'll have the latest on solutions for that traffic mess. We'll have those issues news, and so much more coming up at 5:30.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Of course, we're in Independence Park, so we're going to be talking about soccer. Because how can you not talk about soccer in Canton when we're knocking on the door of the Canton Cup? But we also are keeping a close eye on the forecast. Severe weather is brewing for tonight. Kim is in next.